A racecar livery refers to the distinctive and often colorful paint or graphic design applied to a racing car. These designs are usually made to promote a team sponsor or display artwork, but like most modern art, a lot of it ends up looking like a joke. Maybe that was the intent with this March 83G raced in the 1980s. It was sponsored by, surprisingly enough, the Red Lobster restaurant chain.
Time to bring out the lobsters!
The invertebrate crustacean lends itself surprisingly well to the teardrop shape of the cockpit, and even the vents on the fender are cleverly made to look like armor. Throughout its illustrious career, including several wins, the Lobster car became endeared by fans, and was even used by race promotions after its retirement. And honestly, if I saw a 600 horsepower Lobster rocketing down the straightaway, I would probably smile too. BMW has created a lineup of so-called art cars stretching all the way back to the 1970s. Modern specimens include this M6 GTLM with the word fast written along the side. But early projects were a lot wilder. Their most famous is a BMW M1 styled by American pop artist Andy Warhol. He covered the car with 13 pounds of paint by hand, a task that reportedly took him less than half an hour to make a statement about speed and the blurring lines of an accelerating vehicle. And despite all the added weight, it placed 6th overall in the 1979 24 Hours of Le Mans. Unfortunately, the Warhol M1 is less known for its racing career than for being the subject of a protest in 2022, when climate activists covered the car in flour. But if it was gas guzzling that they hated, then maybe a NASCAR would have been the better victim. In typical American tradition, this racing sport has deep-rooted ties to consumption. This has led to all sorts of themed cars designed to promote blockbuster movies, like the Jeff Gordon Star Wars car, Dale Earnhardt Dark Knight car, and Carl Edwards Minion car. The Passion of Christ and SpongeBob SquarePants both got decals in the same year. But why advertise things you can buy for money when you can advertise money itself? In 2014, when the Reddit Dogecoin community noticed that NASCAR driver didn't have a sponsor, they rallied together to raise over $50,000 and have the cryptocurrency featured on his car. The crowd-funded graphics proudly displayed their poorly drawn mascot along with its catchphrase, "To the moon." The publicity stunt was successful enough for the meme coin to return to NASCAR several times over the past decade, always to the great confusion of spectators. Delivery has gained notoriety for giving drivers the awkward side-eye during races, resulting in some spectacular moments. Porsche might seem like one of the more mature sports car brands, but they're not above having their fair share of silly animal-themed decals. The tradition started when their race team debuted a one-off experimental car called the 91720. It had been designed by a French aero specialist firm, rather than the Porsche in-house engineers, and was both wider and shorter than the 917K it replaced. The racing sponsor at the time, an Italian martini brand called Martini & Rossi, decided it was too ugly to feature their traditional red and blue striping. So Porsche's styling artists, still salty that the car had been outsourced to the French instead of them, dressed the car up like a pig to match its stocky silhouette. When you think of swine, you may imagine something slow, stupid, and heavy. But the car performed surprisingly well with its pink decals and dotted butcher lines. It set the fastest qualification time, and the silly vinyl job won the support of fans despite the car's early retirement due to an accident. Porsche has even reused the design in recent years on the 911 RSR to promote the Taycan and even to sell gaming consoles. Continuing the tradition of animal-based Porsche designs, AO Racing debuted the 911 GT3 RAR for the 2023 IMSA WeatherTech Championship. Complete with flared nostrils, gaping fangs, and stubby reptile arms, the car looks ready to swallow the competition. It's still being raced today, so only time will tell whether it becomes as loved as the Pink Pig and Red Lobster. One livery that is not so loved was the Honda RA107 Earth car. It was unveiled in 2007 to a rather mixed response. Instead of featuring the brand's traditional color scheme, or even the names and logos of a sponsor, the Formula One car was covered with a graphic of the Earth. This was meant to bring awareness to climate concerns and promote a more planet-friendly lifestyle. Pretty ironic considering the car was powered by a 700 horsepower V8. Unfortunately, the Honda performed incredibly poorly, failing to clinch even a single podium finish during the entire season. So while some fans may have appreciated the departure from typical branded graphics, the Earth car was ultimately a major disappointment. Kind of like myself. But potentially the ugliest livery ever raced was the Team Art Viper GTR. The design for the car was commissioned to French painter Hervé de Rosa, who's known for making colorful art of chaotic monsters. His beast of choice for the racing Viper was, fittingly, a large serpent wrapped around the sides of the car and over the rear wing. This was accompanied by an assortment of similar pieces featuring a large bird and some hairy men with clubs. And although it's just my opinion, this art style really didn't turn out to be compatible with the car. Which of these insane race car liveries do you hate the most? Or are they all iconic in their own special way? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.